Causes of plastic pollution. Plastic pollution causes a considerable number of problems. For example, it causes the death of plants and animals, causes illnesses for humans, and causes health risks to those who consume seafood or other foods that have come into contact with plastics. This blog post will cover some causes of plastic pollution and what can be done about this issue. Plastic pollution caused by plastic bags. The average family of 4 throws away over 1,500 plastic bags a year. Plastic pollution is caused by various types of plastics such as single-use grocery and shopping bags given out at stores for free to the public. We use these in our day-to-day lives without realizing it until we see them piled up on sidewalks or floating around, choking animals like whales and dolphins who get trapped with their fins and fish nets while fishing because they mistake these nets for food scraps, which then cause suffocation due to ingestion if not released soon enough before drowning from being unable to breathe underwater since there's no oxygen lacking underwater. Plastic pollution has become an issue of contention in recent years. Many people are concerned with the sheer volume and quality of plastic waste and its adverse effects on wildlife populations that ingest it or get tangled up by it. However, there is skepticism about whether banning these plastics would significantly reduce their use globally when so many other materials exist for packaging products. Plastic pollution caused by plastic bottles. Bottles are the bane of environmentalists. Plastic pollution is a significant issue in our society because of these bottles, which we use for everything from water to soda and juice. When people discard an empty plastic bottle on the ground or toss it into a recycling bin that's not set up right next to their house, they're putting litter all over Earth, more than 20 million pounds per year. Some people may think that plastic bottles are a convenient way to transport water and other beverages, but they can also be harmful. According to the EPA, approximately 1/3 of all plastics produced in the U.S. end up as litter on our streets or elsewhere in the environment. Plastic pollution is caused by single-use disposable products like soda cans, straws, and grocery bags, which, according to Greenpeace, have an impact not only on marine life while making it difficult for us humans because we cannot see them any more than 10 feet away from shore. Causes of plastic pollution. Plastic pollution caused by garbage. There is a problem with plastic pollution caused by garbage. It's not just the damage to our waterways and oceans that we should be worried about, but also what it does to us when we eat fish contaminated by this polluted water or accidentally ingest an item of clothing covered in these toxins on land as well. Plastic pollution is a growing problem, but the power of recycling can solve it. Plastic pollution has been on the rise for quite some time now, and there are many concerns about how this affects our planet's ecosystem. Some people believe that we should halt production or at least reform plastic manufacturing altogether to help with reducing waste in landfills and oceans around the world. Recycling efforts seem more achievable, though, as they allow us all to cut down on plastics without necessarily eliminating them from our lives. Not only does it provide an adequate solution for avoiding furthering oceanic dependency, but also provides jobs opportunities here in America which will support families across states like California who suffer economic hardships trying to make ends meet each day. In order to save our planet for future generations, we need to reduce the causes of plastic pollution. Plastic pollution caused by detergents. One of the most common causes of plastic pollution is detergents. The chemical substances in these products can make their way into waterways, breaking down and releasing molecules that are toxic to marine life. Millions of pounds of plastics enter our oceans each year due to this type of water contamination alone. The plastic pollution caused by laundry detergents is a significant problem that affects both the environment and wildlife. It's safe to assume this issue will only worsen if more people do not take an active stance against it or at least choose environmentally friendly products with less of an impact on our world. Plastic pollution caused by fishing. One of the most common forms of pollution is created by marine debris. According to a study done in 2015, there is an estimated 269 billion pounds worth of plastic trash floating on our oceans. This figure does not include all other types of waste that pollute waterways, such as cigarette butts. This issue can be attributed to fishing practices that discard plastics from nets into the ocean, so they don't become entangled with their equipment or catch more than what's needed for harvesting. There have been various studies conducted since 2012 about how much damage we are doing because our water has become polluted from garbage, such as these discarded bits and pieces left over after fishers use them during their process. Plastic pollution caused by industrialization. With the increase of industrialization, plastic pollution has risen exponentially. In 2010 it was estimated that over 8 million tons of plastics are dumped into our oceans every year, with an additional 5 trillion pieces floating on top or swirling around in them as well. Industrialized countries such as America and Europe have been leading contributors to this problem due to their significant history with using disposable products, which take hundreds of years before breaking down completely. However, recent awareness campaigns by international organizations like Greenpeace International may be a step towards solving these problems. The booming industry that led us into our global economy may have also introduced one of today's biggest problems: plastics pollution caused by industrialization. We all know about recycling, but we need more people going green themselves and stepping up their game with some kind words or actions, too, because if nobody does something soon, there won't be any Earth left. Causes of plastic pollution are important to know so that we can control them. Plastic pollution caused by nature. Plastic pollution, caused by natural disasters such as floods and earthquakes, poses a severe threat to the environment. The plastic in these emissions clogs waterways to stay for years before breaking down or being cleaned up. This has been observed on Vancouver Island following an earthquake that killed hundreds of people back in 2011 when more than 30,000 tons of debris came ashore after washing out from tsunami-damaged beaches into creeks and rivers feeding the ocean's largest estuaries like Admiralty Inlet, which is located near Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Every day, more than 8 million tons of plastic are manufactured and disposed of. But nature is also responsible for the production of plastics without our knowledge or consent. Scientists have discovered microplastics in rainfall samples from 25 different countries around the world, including remote areas such as Antarctica. And scientists estimate that up to 236 billion pounds, or 133 billion kilograms, of floating plastic debris washes into water bodies every year from coastal regions alone, with an additional 12 to 14 trillion pieces estimated residing on shorelines worldwide at any given time. Causes of plastic pollution are hard to understand, but we all need to work together to control these causes. Plastic pollution caused by urbanization. Urbanization is a form of modernization that separates people from nature. It's also the root cause for an abundance of plastic pollution in our oceans, which has been proven to have detrimental effects on aquatic life and humans alike. More than 8.3 billion pounds of plastic are discarded annually in the US alone. This is an astonishing number, especially when you consider that less than 10% will be recycled, and most plastics aren't biodegradable. The idea behind this pollution can partially stem from urbanization, which has led to a demand for cheap goods such as disposable plastic water bottles or other single-use products like straws. It's no wonder we're seeing so much environmental damage with all these mountains of trash building up everywhere. Plastic pollution caused by population. Plastic pollution is a huge problem because of the increase in population. It's hard for us to stop plastic from entering our environment, but we can all do something about it by taking care not to litter or use more than what is needed. No one knew that the problem with plastic pollution would be solved so easily, but as it turns out, all we had to do was wait. The solution is simple: reduce population growth. The plastic pollution problem is one of the worst burdens our society has to face. With population growth and increased production, it will only get worse unless we have a change in mindset about waste.